Hello, welcome to this week's episode of Tokusatsu Thursdays. I'm your host Justin. Today we're reviewing the 1993 Tokusatsu show Hyper Agent Gridman, or Gridman the Hyper Agent, which is also called Denki Chojin Gridman, if I remember correctly. Or is it Denk? I can't remember. Yeah, so this is a Tsuburaya show, which means it's created by the people who made Ultraman, right? Which I just recorded this review like 20 minutes ago, but I forgot to mention that in episode 5, the star of Ultraman is in an episode where he plays like the crappy boss of Naoto's dad, who's the main character, right? It's like, crap, if I release that review without mentioning that the original Ultraman has a cameo, everybody's gonna think I'm a noob, even though I did review Ultraman, guys. Oh my, yeah. This show has like 39 episodes, and it stars Masaya Obi as Naoto, Jun Hattori as Yuka, and Takeshi Sudo as Takeshi. And they're not showing. And was it Masahiro Sato as Oh, that was the villain. My bad. Let me pause for a second. Yeah, sorry. It was Takeshi Sudo as Ippei. It was Takeshi Sugawara as I'm assuming the other Takeshi. They're not showing him, right? Yeah. So this show is basically the best way to describe the show is that it's basically a combination of Mega Man Battle Network or Mega Man Net Warrior, if you ever saw the cartoon, meets Ultraman, right? Which they even have. Hyper Agent Gridman even has a very similar flying pose to Ultraman, and like just like with the original Ultraman show, the flying pose is just a toy on a string, which they show him kicking and they just flip the toy over. It's like, God, that was so tough. Which there's some bad, like, special effects in the show. But overall, I think the special effects of the show looks good. So yeah, the show's premise is basically you have 3 teenagers that are in junior high. I think they're around 14. They're supposed to be 14, right? Even though I think the actors are a little older, right? And yeah, they build this computer in the basement of Yuka's house, right? Which that's not Yuka, Ippei, but like in the earlier episode, it looked like it was Yuka's house, so I was a little confused, right? That, and yeah, they build a supercomputer, and on the day they build the supercomputer, Yuka accidentally pisses off the super introvert nerd Takeshi, who goes to the same school as them, who was trying to give her like a love letter, but because they were being late, they were going to be late for class. She, and he was fucking mumbling like an idiot. She just politely, ignores him, right? But it turns out Takeshi, which it takes us like I think like 17 episodes to learn his name. I could be wrong. Maybe they did say his name on the first episode. I never noticed. But Takeshi turns out to be is a hacker who creates viruses in the shape of monsters, right? Or is it the other way around? And sends them to like Yuka's parents' workplace, which is like a hospital that they run, right? Though later I think they said that Yuka's mom is just a housewife. I don't know. I watched this show over a month, okay? But yeah, at the same time that Yuka's parents are working at the hospital, Naoto's brother Daichi is there getting his appendix removed, right? And it turns out like evil alien called Khan Digifer, who looks like basically a cyberpunk Shredder, especially in the last episode, right? Meets, goes into Takeshi's computer and decides, is impressed by, his hacking skills and empowers his monsters so they can come to life, and that's where you see the Tron aspect of the show, where the computers are the inside the computer. The computer's data is represented by buildings. You have the monster going around destroying the buildings inside the computer, and that's how like the hacking and shit works, right? So yeah, because Khan Digifer shows up on Earth, Hyper Agent Gridman shows up on our main character's computer, Junk, right? Whose life force is connected to Junk, right? So anytime like Gridman is weak, the Junk computer overheats, and if it's destroyed or shuts down while Gridman is fighting in the computer world, Gridman dies and Naoto dies, because Naoto fuses with combines with Gridman, right? And our other characters help fight Gridman, with Gridman by coming up with some special support weapons like the shield and sword. At one point, the sword turns into an axe, but you only see that for like 2 episodes. And later on, they introduce support weapons that like vehicles that turn into mechs, and later on combine with Gridman. So you get like a Thunder Gridman, and you have the Super God Gridman, or whatever the fuck it's called. Right. Which one of the mechs, I swear to God, looks like fucking Optimus Prime, man. I'm like, oh my God, Takara is gonna sue somebody. Alright. Right. So yeah, like when I forgot to mention, when Khan Digifer shows up, Gridman shows up on Junk computer, and he explains to them what the fuck is going on, right? So most of the show is our character is, well, basically Takashi, almost in the beginning of every episode, but sometimes not every episode, gets pissed off and annoyed at somebody, which sometimes it's his fault, sometimes the people are being assholes to him, and he gets super triggered, and he decides to get back at them with his virus monsters, which Khan Digifer, encourages him, right? He's also like his only friend in the show. Which, oh my God, I really love the episode where like Khan Digifer, and usually it's Khan Digifer that escalates things, but sometimes it is Takeshi, right? But I love how like there's one episode where like Takeshi, like where Khan Digifer's like, no, let's play it cool, guy. Let's play it cool. It's Takeshi that escalates things and fucks it up. So he's just like, you motherfucker. Which he'll punish Takeshi by like shooting lasers at him from the computer screen. Right, which he does like several times in this show. But yeah, usually every episode is like Takeshi gets pissed off at somebody. He sends like a monster somewhere, a virus monster, and our main characters have to, deal with it and fight, Takeshi's, monsters with Gridman. And it's almost, and by the way, it's like they don't know each other's existence, right? From this perspective of Takeshi and Khan Digifer, it's just Gridman that's their enemy, and from the other way, and it's also the other way around, which they don't know there's human characters like supporting them, right? Which you would think they would have figured that out, especially during the Dream World episode, right? Where it turns into almost like a Super Sentai episode. Literally they hack like a fucking computerized pillow. Right, which it wasn't by like the 5th episode where they hacked the Ultraman guy's computerized car. I'm like, how the fuck did they hack it? Where it's like it's not even connected to the internet, probably. Well, maybe the GPS is probably, but yeah, because it did have a GPS. But yeah, a lot of the times the shit they hack into doesn't even have an internet connection. It's like it's electronic. Who gives a shit? Okay, it's a kid show, right? Yeah, but the show starts off a little mid, but as the show keeps going, it does get better, right? And I really like the cast of characters, right? They came off like real teenagers. And what I love how like usually with tokusatsu shows I prefer like adult characters, but like with a lot of the more recent tokusatsu shows, you have the fucking cringe that is where you have like grown adults dressing and acting like kids, right? Here in this 90s show, you have like kids trying to act more like adults, right? And in the times where they are immature and act like dumb kids, it's okay because they are kids. So it's like, wow, man, they should do more tokusatsu shows like this, man, because it's really fucking cringe watching like modern day Kamen Rider, modern day Ultraman, where you have like fucking adults act and dress like kids. Oh my god, it's so cringe. So cringe, right? Yeah, I like the show. You have a variety of designs. I like the characters, right? The comedy is good. I really like the some of the monsters later on is super funny, right? Like especially the punk monster, but I have to talk about that episode. The designs are good. The sport weapons are good. The mechs are good, right? The designs for the monsters are good. The characters are good, right? Even though I having everybody have a crush on the main girl in the show was like, oh my god, really? Oh, that was yeah. There are episodes where like Ippei tries to get with tries to hit on other girls, right? Which yeah, even the main villain of the character, the main villain has the thing for fucking Yuka, not Khan Digifer, like Cyberpunk Shredder, the Takeshi, right? Now let's talk about the bad things about the show. I already mentioned the some of the dumb aspects of the show where they're hacking to like shit that's not connected to the internet. But there's also some bad like composite effects. There's some MS Paint style art that they use for that's supposed to be either our characters playing video games or fucking TV shows. That was dumb. There's some creepy episodes in the show, like especially the episode. There's like one episode where our characters are creeping on Yuko when she goes to her swimming lessons, which even at the swimming lessons, like her fucking swimming instructor is this hunky dude. There's no other way to put it, and he has a fucking thing for Yuka. And I'm like, oh my god, are you serious? But he's shown to be a piece of shit at the end of the episode. And there's a fucking episode where I don't know if they ripped this off from Zoo Ranger. Zoo Ranger was around the same time, but I think this show actually was a year later. I don't know, but like there was an episode in Zoo Ranger where they turned the main girl May and the other guy Dan into punks, right? The same thing happens here, thanks to a possessed hairdryer, and they turn Yuka into a punk, and that episode was kind of creepy because she's dressed very provocative. And then they turn and fucking Naoto's mom uses the hairdryer and she turns into a fucking dominatrix and threatens to whip Daichi for not doing his fucking homework, right? And beats up I think she beats up her husband too. And I'm like, holy fuck, that's fucked up to have a kid show. Especially the episode where where like they turn like computerized fucking dog collars into bombs, and you would think at this point in the show they would like, no, hey, let's not put computers into fucking everything because they keep getting fucking hacked, right? Which there's an episode where their favorite computer store closes down because nobody wants to buy computers, but people are still buying computer fucking products that have computers in them, which is that was fucking dumb. But yeah, like there's an episode where like literally Takeshi, because of a dog barked at him, right? He turns like dog collars into fucking basically he turns dogs into like attack dogs, and Khan Digifer has him escalate things by turning them into fucking bombs where they kill a fucking dog. Shiba Inu. right? And I'm like, holy fuck. I turned into fucking Tony Soprano for a second. I'm like, you killed the dog? What the fuck did you do that for? It's like, what the fuck? I wanted to play that meme, man. I wanted to post that meme. But overall, I did like this show, and I appreciate shows where they get better as they get along. Usually shows start off good and kind of sucks, or ends up being really shitty. No, this show does get way better as it goes along. I can appreciate a show that actually improves, right? Not get worse, especially with certain shows I've reviewed on this channel where it starts off very good and then like the climax fucking sucks or the final season sucks, like almost every HBO fucking show does. But yeah, I really, the show does get better, and I really appreciate it. It starts off like almost like a 5 out of 10, sorry, 5 out of 10, 6 out of 10, but as it keeps going, it turns into 6 out of 10, and the music is good. Very catchy song, right? And it's a shame that they didn't do more with these characters, but it is what it is, right? But, sometimes the 39 episodes, it's nice to have like a show that's not like super long, even though this show did take me weeks to fucking finish. But yeah, was there anything else I wanted to? I'm probably missing something, but fuck it, I have to go to work soon. Yeah. So, our next, 7 out of 10 for people who missed that. Our next Tokusatsu Thursday review will probably be, either the Ultraman or movie or the Kamen Rider 01 movie. And, yeah. So, yeah. I'm going to be watching anime for a while. So, yeah, I'm taking a break from Tokusatsu shows. That's it for this review, guys.